Hi everyone tuning in from every corner of Scotland and beyond. It is great to have you back as we dive into another day filled with stories that keep the Rangers world buzzing. The atmosphere around Ibrox has taken on a different tone this week, not necessarily darker, but definitely more curious, as a wave of uncertainty has drifted in and grabbed the attention of supporters. It feels like one of those moments where something shifts behind closed doors and suddenly everyone starts asking what might be coming next. The pace of events has quickened, and with that comes a sense that the next few weeks could play a huge role in shaping how the squad and the entire structure of the club evolve as the season heads toward its decisive stretch. There is talk once again of a departure that seemed to be off the table not long ago, but has now crept right back into the conversation. This twist has opened the door to possibilities nobody saw coming, and that alone has energized discussions across the fan base. Whenever that kind of scenario appears, you can almost feel the ripple effect it creates, especially in a season where every small decision feels magnified and every detail could end up affecting the bigger picture. One situation drawing plenty of attention is the possibility of Rangers recalling Oscar Cortez from his spell in Spain when the winter window opens. The young winger landed at a club in the second division over the summer, right after Rangers' obligation to secure him permanently from his former side was activated. The move was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance for him to get back into rhythm after the injuries that disrupted his time in Glasgow. But things simply have not gone the way anyone hoped. With only 6 total appearances so far and just a single league start, one that ended at halftime during a disappointing result, the plan for his development has stalled far more than anticipated. It is now being suggested that the lack of minutes has pushed Rangers to consider cutting that loan short. The club invested in him with a long-term view, and they know that regular football is essential if he is going to grow into the kind of player they believe he can become. When a young player goes months without meaningful match time, everyone understands the risk. His rhythm disappears, his confidence drops, and his market value inevitably follows. If the return does happen, though, it would not be as simple as bringing him back and slotting him into the current squad. The expectation is that a new destination would have to be lined up, somewhere he could genuinely expect to feature more often. And with the current direction of the first team, it is unlikely he would immediately enter Danny Rowe's plans for the second half of the campaign. To make the situation work for all involved, agreement would be needed on every side. His loan side would have to replace him. Rangers would need a club willing to offer him minutes. And the player himself would have to feel confident about the new environment. It is one of those delicate football puzzles where the timing has to be perfect for things to fall into place. At the same time, conversations around Nadim Bahami have picked up serious momentum as the winter window approaches. His status sits in this interesting middle zone where he is valued as part of the squad, but not fully established as a regular presence. What makes it even more compelling is the way the new manager has been speaking about him, not as a guaranteed starter, but as someone who has been working hard enough to give himself a genuine chance of changing his place in the hierarchy. That determination showed during his energetic appearance in the 2-1 victory over Livingston, where he injected the match with urgency and helped tilt the momentum when it mattered. Performances like that do not go unnoticed. Word around the training ground is that he has been pushing himself, and Rowe has responded by leaving the door open for him to claim more responsibility if he continues to progress. It is a refreshing shift for a player who, under the previous structure, seemed to be heading toward an exit. There was a time when he appeared frozen out, with no clear path back. But with the new staff evaluating the squad from scratch, he suddenly has a route forward. Still, Rangers understand the realities of the upcoming window. They are not ruling out keeping him, but they also know that limited opportunities could spark his interest in exploring a move. The wider strategy in place is to reshape the team, bring in more players suited to the new ideas and move on those who no longer fit the long-term direction. Bahami's situation sits right at the center of that balancing act. He now has a genuine incentive to fight for his place and to show he can be part of the squad going forward, but at the same time, the club would not ignore a solid offer if another side made a move for him. The straightforward truth is this: his future will be determined by how he performs on the pitch and in training over the coming weeks. If he continues to show that spark, more minutes will follow, and once that happens, everything else becomes a natural consequence of what he produces. That is the challenge set out in front of him, and he knows it. The first team environment has taken on a new tone under the current manager. Places are earned now, not given, and every player knows he has to fight for every minute he gets. All of this plays out against the backdrop of wider changes across the club. The departure of the sporting director signaled not just the end of a chapter, but the beginning of a recalibrated vision. Pressure from the stands and the frustration with recent recruitment outcomes played a role in prompting the shift. Rangers are now looking at various candidates to step into the role, with discussions involving both internal figures and experienced names from outside. While some unexpected names have surfaced in the rumor mill, the preferred direction seems to lean toward bringing in someone with deep experience who can stabilize the football operation and set a clear long-term direction. With structural adjustments happening and squad changes expected across the next few windows, Bahami's situation mirrors the overall mood around Ibrox: an opportunity on one side, uncertainty on the other. Every player now has to prove his worth in a system that is being rebuilt piece by piece. Meanwhile, another development has added to the sense of transition. Jonathan Hunter-Barrett, who had been expected to take over as academy director in the new year, will not be making the move after all. Despite initial plans and an understanding that he would step into the role as part of the evolving football structure, the agreement has been dissolved and he is now set to remain with his current club in a new capacity. This turn of events means Rangers will continue with their interim setup in the academy for now, keeping the youth department in a state of flux during a period when stability would have been welcomed. The change of direction surrounding the academy role has created another layer in this evolving moment at the club, because the youth setup is such a crucial part of Rangers' long-term vision. The plan had been clear: bring in a new figurehead to lead development, modernize processes, and help shape the next generation of players coming through Ouch and Howie. With that appointment no longer happening, the club finds itself reassessing once again, carefully weighing whether to promote internally, search further afield, or reshuffle the responsibilities already in place. It is not an easy decision, especially at a time when so many other areas of the club are in the midst of adjustment, but it is one that will need to be resolved sooner rather than later. David McCallum continues to hold the fort in the interim role, maintaining continuity during a period where the academy has already seen significant movement. His steady hand has been important, particularly given the sudden departures higher up in the structure and the general sense of renewal sweeping through Ibrox. Alongside him, other familiar faces from the youth setup remain in place, keeping the pathways open for younger players who have been working hard to catch the eye of the first-team staff. Even with the uncertainty, the commitment to producing talent is still strong, and the desire to maintain that connection between the academy and the senior squad remains one of the cornerstones of the club's philosophy. The broader picture inside the club right now is one of transition, but also of clarity. The new manager has come in with a clear blueprint, one that prioritizes physical intensity, tactical discipline, and a hunger for players to push their limits. That approach touches every corner of the club, from the first team to the youth system, and it is becoming increasingly evident that only those who buy into that vision will be part of Rangers' future. It is a demanding environment, but one that supporters can appreciate because it brings a sense of identity back to the pitch, something that had been gradually slipping away during recent seasons. Training sessions have reportedly taken on a different tone as well. Players are being pushed harder, details are being scrutinized more closely, and the pace of work has increased. Those who respond positively are climbing in the manager's estimations, while others find themselves being quietly evaluated regarding their place in the next phase of the project. It is a natural process whenever a new manager arrives, but the speed at which this transformation is taking place has been striking. The message has been consistent. There is no room for complacency. This shift is also influencing how the mid-season window is being approached. Rather than focusing purely on immediate needs, Rangers are planning in cycles, looking at which areas of the squad require strengthening across multiple windows. That is why some players may move on, even if they are not desperate to leave. It is not about clearing space for the sake of it, but instead ensuring the squad evolves in a way that aligns with the long-term tactical vision. The club is actively identifying profiles that suit the pace and style the manager wants. Players who can press, carry the ball, and consistently deliver high-tempo performances across an entire campaign. All of this means that decisions in January will carry more weight than usual. Instead of short-term fixes, the focus will be on building the spine of a side that can reassert itself domestically and compete more convincingly in Europe. Supporters have been eager for this kind of structured planning, especially after several windows that did not produce the expected results. There is an understanding among the fan base that patience will be required, but also a belief that with the right decisions, the club can rediscover the consistency and authority that define Rangers at their best. In the middle of these broader developments, individual players continue to fight for their place. Training reports suggest that the atmosphere has become more competitive, with players pushing each other for spots in the starting 11. Those who had been accustomed to regular minutes now find themselves needing to prove they can adapt to the new demands, while others who had been on the fringes are suddenly given fresh opportunities to make their mark. It has created a dynamic environment, one where every session carries significance and every performance could influence a player's trajectory. This new ethos has also affected how younger players are being integrated. The manager has shown a willingness to give opportunities when they are earned, but not before. That approach makes it increasingly important for academy prospects to stand out, not just in youth matches, but in training sessions alongside the senior squad. The club wants the pathway to remain open, but it also wants to ensure that those who step into the first team are genuinely ready for the level being demanded. It is a delicate balance, but one that can ultimately produce stronger results if handled correctly. As for the senior squad, the sense of competition is sharpening performances. Matches are being approached with increased focus, and even small details such as pressing distances, reaction times, and overall sharpness are being monitored more closely. The players know that the standards are rising and that the days of cruising through matches are gone. This mentality shift has the potential to become one of the most important changes under the new regime, especially in a league where consistency and intensity often determine who lifts the trophy at the end of the season. Behind closed doors, the club is also working on improving its analytical structure. Recruitment decisions moving forward will be rooted in data as much as scouting, helping to avoid the kinds of missteps that have frustrated supporters in recent years. It is not about signing players simply because they are available, but about identifying individuals whose numbers, physical traits, and on-pitch habits match the demands of the system. This alignment between analytics and scouting is something the club has needed for some time, and its implementation is a major step in ensuring that future windows become more effective. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers have been swirling round Govan this morning as word drifts through the corridors of Ibrox that the club may have pulled off a move few saw coming. The name on every tongue is Lynden Dykes, the hard-charging forward, long admired for his rugged presence and unshakable work rate. Though nothing has been formally confirmed by the club, the chatter among supporters and insiders alike suggests the Rangers board have quietly secured the big striker, promising an immediate aerial reference for the side and a fresh dimension to Philippe Clement's front line. Dykes, known for bullying centre-halves and turning half chances into real danger, has often been linked with moves back north, yet the timing of this latest murmur feels different. Sources close to the camp hint that his arrival could be part of a wider effort to reshape the attacking unit, giving the team someone who thrives on physical contests and direct service into the box. Already, fans are debating how the Australian-born Scotland international might fit into the squad, with some imagining him as the focal point of long diagonals, others picturing him bustling defenders to carve out space for the more technical talents around him. The rumour gained even more traction after a supposed sighting of Dykes near the Rangers training ground, sparking a flurry of excitement across social media. Some supporters insist the club need exactly his kind of presence, big, fearless, and relentless, especially in matches where patience and guile are not quite enough on their own. Others, though intrigued, are waiting for something more concrete before allowing themselves to dream of towering headers and bruising link-up play. Still, the mere suggestion of his signature has breathed fresh energy into the blue half of the city. Whether this noise is the prelude to a grand announcement or simply the latest tale carried on the wind remains to be seen. But for now, the buzz is unmistakable. Rangers may be on the verge of adding a striker who can change the feel of a match with a single leap, and the faithful are already imagining the roars that might soon echo beneath the Ibrox lights. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned